As I said, um, we have studied different types of recursive functions, like how we can find a GCD of numbers, greatest common divisor, GCD. We have seen, for example, we will be changing the remainder value again and again among A and B. Then we will be able to find the GCD. One more example, what we have seen was Fibonacci series. It is a sequence of numbers in which first two numbers are fixed, 0 and 1. The next example was Ackermann function. So which is having predefined meaning in its own. Now next type of recursive function here is towers of Hanoi. So tower of Hanoi is another type of recursive procedure in which we are going to call the same function again and again. So that is what is tower of Hanoi. Um, So the tower of Hanoi is a very simple approach in which what we have to do here is given a set of disks. So all these are called as disks. Given the set of disks, we should be able to move all these disks from source pole. These are poles: pole number 1, pole number 2, and pole number 3. A is source and C is the destination. You should be able to move all these disks from this source to the destination C. From this source to the destination C. So that is what is the defined problem. But there are if you can see the sizes of the disk, this is larger one in size. Again, smaller, 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 and smaller. So they have kept in that order because that is how it works. So here peg, they are also called as pegs or poles. So here pole A is this one, this is B, and this is C. So what we assume here is we need to move the disk from peg A to peg C using peg B as the auxiliary or temporary location. We should move all these disks from A to this C by using this B as an auxiliary reference. So you can take help of this peg B and then move all the disks to C. But there are conditions. What is that condition? Condition number one is only one disk may be moved at a time. That means you are allowed to pick only one disk. You are not allowed to take more than one out at a time. Specifically, only the top disk on any peg may be moved to any other peg. That means topmost disk you are allowed to pick. Only one peg, that is also only topmost one. If you want to move any peg from this one, you are allowed to pick only this one. This one you can take and move it either here or here. So wherever you want, you move that. But only one disk is allowed to be moved from whichever peg you want and to whichever destination you want. That is one condition. Only one you are allowed to pick. The second condition here is at no time can a larger disk be placed on a smaller disk. So that is one more condition. You are not allowed to keep the larger disk on the smaller disk. So only that condition must be maintained always. That condition must be maintained always. That means that is one predefined criteria. So what the criteria says, only you are allowed to pick only one disk at a time, and that too only topmost disk. That too only topmost disk from the pegs. And one when you are moving the topmost disk from the peg, you should move the disks in such a way that we are allowed to keep only the smaller disk on top of the larger disk. You are allowed to keep only the smaller disk on top of the larger disk. So this condition should not be violated at any given point of time. This condition should not be violated. That is what is towers of Hanoi problem. Say for example, this is your pole A, pole B, and pole C. Pole A, B, and C. So what they have taken, this is one proper appropriate condition. Suppose three disks are given to you. So what you are supposed to do, you are supposed to move all these disks from A to C. But at any given point of time, you are allowed to pick only the topmost disk. You are allowed to pick only the topmost disk. That means if you want, you can take it and move it either here or here. You are not supposed to move it You are not supposed to take out 2 disks at a time. That is not permitted. So taking out 2 disks at a time is not permitted. Say for example, if you want, you can take this and move it here. That is permitted. So if you want to take this out, 1 second. All it is taking everything at a time. Right. So if this is what is the case A, and if this is what is the case B on top of that, and if this is what is the case C. So what you can do here is, we can take this. No, it is not possible. I cannot show it here. But what I will do here is, I'll take some more. Say the disk A1 has been, this is the present scenario. So what I can do here is, this is after upgradation B, A and C. So this is already, say the smaller disk I have taken and I have moved it to C. The smaller disk I have taken and moved it to C. But when you want to move this one, this disk, this you can move only to this side. This we cannot take and move it on top of this C. No, that is not permitted. So why it is not permitted here is because this is smaller disk and this is larger disk. So what the condition says, at any given point of time, you should place only the smaller disk on top of the largest disk. But reverse is not possible. But reverse is not possible. Say this smaller disk I have moved it here. Smaller disk I have moved it here. Then later this you can take and move it here. So that is permitted afterwards. This you can take and move it here, and later you can perform other operations. So the ultimate thing is, you should understand what the problem is. Later we will find the solution. What the problem is, we are allowed to pick only one disk at a time, but the condition is smaller will be always on top of the larger. Smaller will be always on top of the larger. So if you keep something like this is smaller disk and on top of this some larger disk is there. So this is wrong. This is not permitted in case of this Tower of Hanoi problem. In case of this Tower of Hanoi problem, right? So that was the context of the problem. Now we will go solving one by one. What is our intention? We should move these disks with at least smaller number of moves, minimum number of moves we should use. Say there is only one disk. Say there is only one disk in the given problem, and I want to move this disk from A to C. So how many moves are required for us? That is what is our problem. How many moves we need? How many moves we need to move these destinations? So as by looking at this, we can say that we don't need the help of B also in this case. We may not need the help of B. Why? Because there is only one disk. This I should take and move it to destination. So what happens here is, in this case A, B and C. So directly you can take this disk from A and move it to C. So how many moves we took for this? We took only one move. We took only one move to move the disk from A to C. So this is what is our problem now. By taking minimum number of moves, you should be able to move all the disks from source to destination. So here we are going to treat A as source. Here we are going to treat A as source and C as destination. So peg A and B as auxiliary. B as auxiliary. So that is what is the given problem. So say assume I have 2 disks now. A is source, B and C. So A, B and C. So assume if we have something like this scenario, 2 disks are there. You have to satisfy the conditions and move all the disks from A to C. This is a given problem. Then how will you move? So will you move the first disk? I will write on this disk number 1 and disk number 2. So obviously you are allowed to take out only one disk number one. You are not allowed to take disk number two. So when I take it out disk number one, where will you place it? Either on B or C? Use some logic and can someone tell me where I should put this A disk number one? Either on B or C. What will be the best?
B, sir. B.
So what I do here is as per I should take this disk number one and move it on to B. Why? Because when I take this and move it on to B, later I can take this disk number two and move it to C. So that I have to minimize the number of moves. So what I will do when there are two disks, the scenario will be something like this. When there are two disks, the scenario will be something like this. What we have to do here is disk number one will be taken, disk number one will be taken, and it will be. I will not disturb this scenario. Whole thing. All right. So when there are two disks, this will be the scenario. When number of disks is equal to 2. So this is the given situation. So in the next situation, what we will be having here is, so these are the disks A, B, C, and what I will do here is disk number 2 will be kept as it is, and what I will do, I will take the disk number 1 and move it to B. If you want, you can move to C also, but again the number of moves will be more. You have to move it to C, and again you have to take this 2 and keep it here. Again it will be number of moves will be 5 to 6 moves. So we have to think in such a way that we have to move in by using minimum number of moves. So disk number 1 is moved here. Disk number 1 is moved here. So in this step, so in next step, what we will do here is, so next what I should do? Can anyone guess? Next what I should do in this scenario?
So disk number two we should take from A to C.
Disk number 2, I should take it from A to C. So that is the possible approach. Disk number 2 I have taken and moved it to C, and but still disk number 1 is on B itself. So finally what we are left with, we have to move this A, B, C. What we should do here is take this disk number 2 as it is, take this disk 1 and move it on top of 2, disk number 1. So what we have done here is, the source scenario was something like this, the given scenario, and at the end the scenario is something like this. What we have done here is, how many moves we have taken? Can you guess the number of moves? This was the given source, and this is first move what we took, and this is second move, and this is third move. So when there are number of disks is 2, we have taken 3 moves. We have taken 3 moves. Right? So what it says, for we have seen these moves for number of disks as 3 for 2 disks. So when there are 3 disks, this is what is the scenario given in the situation. So assume for n equal to 1, we have taken number of moves as 1. For n equal to 2, number of moves is 3. So for n equal to 3, how many moves we will get? How many moves? Can you solve it? Can you try to do manipulations in your pen and paper? Can you find me the minimum number of moves? Just I hope you'll be having pen and paper with you. Just write 3 disks on this and perform movements. Go on solving like this, like how I did now, and get me the number of moves, possible moves. You can get any number of moves, but what is the minimum possible with which you can move? Quick, I hope you can solve it in 2 minutes. Just think and get the number. Yes. N equal to 5 is one solution. Yes. Any other solutions from your side? Someone is claiming that for this scenario, the number of moves is 5. For this scenario, number of moves is 5. This is the disk A, and pole A, pole B, and pole C. Right? This number 1, this number 2, this number, not second, I should name them in reverse order. so that it will be easy while doing movements. 1, 2, and 3. So this number 1, 2, and 3. Yes, any other moves from student side? How many moves you need? Minimum moves to move all these disks from here to here. Someone has told that n is equal to 5. No other solution? Now let us solve it. So let the disk 3 be here itself, 2 be here itself. 1 I can take and I can move it to either C or B. Where we feel it feasible to move now. Now without recursion, without writing function, without writing program, we are trying this. We are doing randomly, but when you write the program now, directly you'll be able to get the number of steps. Right? This desk 1 can be moved either here or here. Which one will you feel feasible one?
B, sir.
Yes? Should I move to B or C?
Yes, sir. B, sir.
If I move to B, it will take more number of moves as per my knowledge. Even if you want, you can move, but I want to make it in minimum number of moves. So for this, the number of, I'll try with this. 1 second. I'll try with this approach. And move it to C. This number 1, and I will move it to C. How many moves are over? 1 move is over. Right? Then 3 I'll keep it as it is. Then I'll take desk number 2 and move it here. How many moves are over? 2. Then I'll take this, keep this 3 as it is here. And in this scenario 2, and move 1 from here to here. How many moves are over? 3. I hope you are following. Next scenario. What I will do, I'll write the poles first. So now ultimately this 3 should come here at the bottom. So what I will do, I'll take this 3 and move it here first. 3. And don't change this. Keep them as it is. 1, 2. How many moves are over? 4 moves. I hope you are following the minimum number of moves. So this I am writing it directly because I have practiced it. So once you learn the coding and practicing, you can write directly. You can imagine. For more than 2, it will be difficult to imagine the number of moves. So now with this scenario, what possible thing that I should do? Can anyone guess now? What must be the movement?
Sir, 1 should move to A.
1 should move to
A.
where?
A, sir.
1 should be moved to A, because what it says here, later I can take 2 and move it here. So it will be easy for us. So 1 I will take and move it here. 1 I will take and move it here, and let the 2 be here itself. So how many moves are over? 5 moves are over. Next. So pole A, B, and C. All right. What must be the scenario? It is in fixed position now. Don't change it. Why? Because already 3 is in its final position. We should not change that. Next, what I should do? Any possible answers? The 2 should be taken and moved it on top of the C. That means take the disk from peg B and move it to C. So 2 I have moved it here. How many moves are over? 6 moves. Now next, what is the final movement that I should do? A, B, and C. So finally what I will do, let this disk be here itself. Right? This is this number 3, 2, and finally take this A and move it on top of the 2. Right. So disks 1, 2, 3 have been moved successfully. And what is the final move? N is equal to number of moves is equal to 7. This is the minimum possible movement what we have to do. But as per what probably Vishal told, if you take the movement of this 1 from A to B instead of taking it 1, so you can go on calculating, the number of moves will increase. So for n equal to 3, the number of moves is 7. Number of moves is 7. So that is what is the possible movement. The same scenario is shown here. Right? So sometimes this is moment is denoted by this notation, whatever I told, X arrow mark Y. That means that moving the topmost disk from peg X to peg Y. That is the sample scenario, which is notation which is used in this book. Though for n equal to 3, we have already solved. Move the top disk from peg A to C first. So like how we have solved. From first, you have to move from A to C, but not from A to B. That is the solution. If you move from A to B, again the number of moves will increase. So we have to move the disk from A to C. See here, the number of moves they have given. Move the top disk from A to C. Next, what happens? Move the disk from A to B. So when I refer to disk, it means that it is understood that it is topmost disk. It is understood that it is topmost disk from the pole. So next movement is move disk from A to B. So here, as you can see here, move the disk from A to B. We have moved the disk number 2 from A to B. That is what is second moment. Moment number 1 is over. Moment number 2 is over. Next, what is the third step that I telling? Third step is here. Move the top disk from C to B. Move the disk from, one second, where we are. I missed somewhere step. Move the disk from C to B. 1, 2, 3. 1 second. A to B. C to B. No, it is wrong here. A to B. C to B. Yes, that is possible. What it says? C to B. It is correct. It is correct. Move the top disk from peg C to peg B. That is next step. So this one I have taken from C and I have moved it to B. So from this C, it has been moved to peg B. That is third step. Fourth step could be A to C. Fourth step, what it says? A to C. So take this disk from A and move it to C. That is what is fourth step. Fifth step is move the disk from B to A. Fifth one is move it from B. What was present here? 1. So this I will take it to A. B to A. So next from B to C. Next I will take from B to sixth one. B to C. Later what it says? From A to C. Later move from A to C. So totally how many moves we have taken? We have taken 7 moves. The same scenario is explained here. The same scenario, whatever I have drawn now, they have explained with the different diagrams. This is what is the scenario of the movement. So what happens in this scenario? The disk from A to C is being moved. It means from A, C. The top disk from A is going to C, pole C. Next, the disk from A is going to B. Next here, the disk from C is going to B. Next, the disk from A is going to C. Next, the disk from B is going to A. Next, the disk from B is going to C. Next, the disk from A is going again back to C. So that is what the simple movement and simple strategy you have to follow. Simple strategy you have to follow for the movement of disks. Right? So these were the scenarios for Tower of Hanoi. What I would say. 1 second. I don't know whether it will be convincible to you. I just try to show it. I'm just trying to show it by powering on the video. I have made the model here. I don't know whether you'll be able to see it. Can you see it? Yes, now it is perfectly visible. 1 second. So this is what the model I tried to show you. So these 3 poles from A, 1 second, from A I should be able to move it to C. So if there are only one discs, so assume there is only one disk. So I have kept only one disk from here. So as per our conversation, as per our discussion, for one disk, what was the possible scenario? So directly we took it. Directly we take this from A and we are going to move it to C. So that was the scenario. That was the case only for the single disk. So for the single disk, what we did was take the disk from A and move it to C. So that was the possible solution for one disk. Now let us take two disks. Let us take two disk number one and disk number two. Disk number one and disk number two. So when there are two disks, so whatever the steps we followed, when there are two and there were two disks, the steps what we followed were there were two movements. What was the first possible movement? Take the disk from A and move it to B. Take the topmost disk from A and move it to B. See, the solution here is, can you see these labels properly? Someone please respond so that I can change the camera
Yes,
settings.
sir.
You can, right? This is
Yes,
written
sir.
as here A and this is B and this is C. Yes, you can see properly. Good. So what were the steps that we followed? The steps were, when there are two disks, take the first moment. And as I said, we are not allowed to move like this. Take two at a time. You are allowed to take only one out at a time. If you want, you can keep it here or you can keep it here. So that is left to us. Actually, it has got broken. That is the reason. So whatever the steps, take it and move it here to B. One moment. Second moment, I can take the disk from A and move it to C. Third moment, I can take the disk from B and move it to C. So that is what the steps we followed. These were the steps what we follow for the effective movement from source to destination. Say for example, I would like to do it once again. So let us follow some other approach now. So from disk A, I want to move it to C. What I will do here is, from disk A, instead of moving it to B here, I'll take it to C now. So parallelly count the number of moves. How many moves are over now? One move. One move is over. Now for this, what is left out? Only I can keep it here. I am not allowed to keep it on this. Why? Because smaller is here at the bottom. And on top of smaller, I am not supposed to keep the larger one. For that purpose, what I have to do, at any cost, if you want to move this, take it and move it to B. So how many moves are over? Two moves are over. Now if we take this, as I have moved it from here to here, I am not allowed to take it again. So only possibilities, you can take this and either if you want, you can move it here or here. At any given point of time, the number of moves will be 3. So let us take, I'll move it from here to here. The number of moves is 3 now. 3 movements are over. Now by looking at this logic, what you can see here is, next you take this from B and move it to C. Number of moves are 4. Then I am left out with this only. Take the disk from A and move it to C. This from A and move it to C. So how many moves are over? 5 moves. So actually we have to take the minimum number of moves and move the disk. But now we took how many moves? We took 5 moves. So the better solution is, within 3 moves we can do this. So take the topmost disk from A and move it to B. Take the disk from A and move it to B. Next take disk from A and move it to C. 2 moves are over. Next take the disk from B and move it to C. What happens? 3 moves. Within 3 moves we are able to move all the disks from source to destination. So that was the case when we were having 2 disks. So when suppose we have 3 disks. So assume we have 3 disks, something like this. So for these 3 disks, I want to move the disks from A to destination B by taking from A to destination C by taking B as the auxiliary. By taking B as the auxiliary. So if you randomly go on trying, what better approach we followed in our case was, first we moved this smaller disk from probably A to C. One moves. Then 2 moves, then 3. 1 second. After 3, then 4, 5, 6, and 7. So with these 7 movements, we were able to move all the disks from A to C by taking B as the auxiliary. So these 7 steps only I am telling. Whatever these 7 steps are there. So these 7 steps for n equal to 3, these steps were followed to reach the destination. Now the scenario becomes complicated when we increase the number of disks. The scenario becomes complicated when we increase the number of disks. For 4 disks, again you need to do more operations. When you increase the number of disks, the movement will be you may not get the minimum possible movements in single attempt. You may not get the minimum possible movements in single attempt. And if the number of disks will increase again to 5, so I will add one more. Now there are 5 disks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again the complications will increase. So now let us try for 4 disks first. So when there are 4 disks, what approach you have to follow to move the disks from A to C? What I'll do now, there is one recursive solution for this. There is one recursive solution for this, which will help us to find automatically come to know about the number of movements which we should use in case of tower of Hanoi problem, right? So what this says here is the general solution, the very generic solution here is, these are the 3 steps which we follow. What it says, move, please concentrate on these 3 steps. Only this logic will help us to solve the problem recursively. What it says, move the top n-1 disks one second, right? What the solution says, generic solution, move the top n-1 disk from A to B, then move the top disk from A to C, then move the n-1 disk from B to C. So that is what is the recursive solution for this. Recursive solution for this. This I will explain with this demonstration. It will be clear to remember. You can remember it clearly. So as a function, we can write it like this. The moment is something like this from beginning to the end. This will be always source and this will be always destination and this will be always auxiliary. This will be always auxiliary. So let us now introduce the general notation. What is that? N beginning, auxiliary, and N. To denote a procedure which moves the top N disks from the initial peg beginning to the final peg end. Initial peg beginning to the final peg end. Using auxiliary. Using auxiliary. N indicates number of disks always. So when N is 1, we have the following solution. What is that? When there is only one, what we do? We will directly move it from beginning to end. Because when there is only one disk, you no need to take help of anything else. Directly move it from source to the destination or beginning to the end. That's it. Now this is scenario for n equal to 6. But how to come out with the solution for n equal to 4? So I'll tell the recursive solution for this. So what it says, this one, just now what I explained, this one. These three steps, what it says, move the top n-1 disk from A to B. The recursive solution, what you have to follow for this is, right? So we should perform movement. So when the number of disks is more, what recursive solution is there for this is, move this is A now, this is source. On this source we have 4 disks. 1, 2, 3, 4 disks. Among these, what it says, move the top n-1 disk. N-1 means 3. 1, 2, 3. Move the top n-1 disks from A to B. See, here actually practically we will be not picking all 3 at a time, but somehow you should move only one at a time. That means you perform all the movements, move it here, then later you take it here, later we take it here, then we bring it here, then this one here, then this one here, without violating the property of movement, then I'll take it here. So what we have done is, we have done step number 1. What it says, move the top n minus 1 disk from A to B. Take n minus 1 disk from pole A and move them to B. This is what we have done. Just to by skipping all those steps, what I had done was I have shown you directly like that. The first approach here is the recursive solution for this. Take the top n minus 1, whatever put the n, if there are n, if n is 10, n minus 1 is 9. Take the top 9 disks and move them to the pole B. From A, move them to pole B. That is first step. What is the second step? Move the top disk from peg A to C. Take the disk from A. Will be left out with only one. Take the disk from A and move it to C. Take this and move it to C. What is the next thing? Then take those n minus 1 disks from peg B and move them to C. So take this n minus 1 disks from peg B and move them to C. So n minus 1 disks from peg B and move them to peg C. So this is a simple 3-step procedure, but this you have to do it recursively by not violating the properties. This is initialization and we have to go on recursively dividing it. Right? I'll show it once again. How can we move the disk from A to C? First thing is take the top n minus 1 disks and move them to temporary or auxiliary. Then take the disk from A and move it to destination C. Then take the n minus 1 disk from B and move them to C. N minus 1 disk from B and then move them to C. So this is the simple approach. This is the simple recursive approach what we have to follow. Simple recursive approach what you have to follow to move the disk from A to C when the number of disks will increase. When the number of disks will increase. Right? Now for this movement, you should know to follow this property, what you have to do, either you have to move it here or here, you should know to use the minimum number of moves. For this problem, it's difficult to move as the number of disks will increase. We have to write the recursive solution for this. We have to write the recursive solution for this. Now I will write the recursive solution for this. What is the recursive solution for this? I hope you can see. Right? So this is what is the recursive solution for this. The number of moves is obviously it is 15. The number of moves is 15. 1 second. See, for any given value of n, the number of moves is 2 raised to n minus 1. That is the fixed formula. For any given one, the number of moves is 2 raised to n minus 1. Now look at the recursive solution. Concentrate on this recursive solution. These are all the steps what we have to follow. Recursive solution for movement of disks when we have 4 disks. What is that? What is this given problem? I have to invoke the tower of an function and I have to move 4 disks from A to C by taking B as the auxiliary. So when you perform movements, these auxiliaries will change. These auxiliaries will change. I'll just try to increase this. All right. As I said, those will go on changing. Those the auxiliary will go on changing when you call the recursive procedure. When you call the recursive procedure, the auxiliary values will be changing. The auxiliary values will be changing. Yes. Now this is what is the problem. Now this is what is the problem. What our problem says, the number of disks is 4. I have to move 4 disks from A to destination C by using B as the auxiliary. So B as the auxiliary temporary. That means this is the problem now. I have to move from A to C. So what the solution is there? The 3-step solution we have studied just now. The 3-step solution we have seen. What the 3-step solution says? Move the top n minus 1 disks. 1 second. I'll show you those 3 steps. Please you remember this as I say. What are the first thing? Move the top n minus 1 disk from A to B, then 1 disk from A to C, then n minus 1 disk from B to C. So this simple procedure you have to follow always. You should remember that. So what it says, this tower of 4 has been divided into 3 subroutines. This is one subroutine, this is another subroutine, and this is another subroutine. These 3 subroutines, it has been divided into 3 subcalls. So what it says, when you have function, move the top n minus 1 disk from A to C. Move the top n minus 1 disk from A to C. So that was the problem what we were knowing. So when we have disks from A, I should move them to C. So what it says here, move the top n minus 1 disk. N minus 1 is 3. Move this top n minus 1 disk from where to where? From A to B. Move the top n minus 1 disk from A to B. So please concentrate. I hope you can see. Yes, yes, you can see. I'll just tilt it. Right? Move, this one is recursively, it has been called. Next, what is the step? Move the disk from A to C. This second one is over. Next, recursive call is what? Move those 3 n minus 1 disks. Move those 3 disks from where to where? From B to C, keeping A as the auxiliary. From B to C. You just concentrate always on source and destination. Don't worry about the auxiliary, because when you know the source and when you know the destination, auxiliary will be fixed. Obviously, the third one. So move the disk from B to C. So take this and move from B to C. So this is how we came for this recursive solution. But in fact, what we do, we are not supposed to move in bunches like this. What we are supposed to do, we have to move them one at a time, one at a time. That means this further I have to solve. This further we have to solve and take it to the recursive procedure. Take it to the again recursive procedure. So when there are 3 disks here, when there are 3 disks here on from A to B. On B, we have 3 disks here. So for time being, you ignore this. So recursively, again, you have to call this. What you have to do? Same procedure you apply. What is that? When there are something here, take the top n minus 1 disk and move them from A to C. Now you just ignore about that demonstration. Again, it will be confusion. So what I'll do? Now this first step you understood how I wrote like this. Now this one you should again recursively try to solve that. So what it says, now in this case A is the source, in this case A is the source and B is the destination and C is the auxiliary. So write the recursive procedure same. What it says, move the top n minus 1 disk from source to auxiliary. That means from A to C you have to move. That's what I have written, from A to C. Recursive procedure, move the top n minus 1, n is 3, 3 minus 1 is 2. Move them from A to C. Move them from A to C. Move them from A to C. When you are moving from A to C, B will be the auxiliary. Then what is the next step? Take the disk from and move them to A to B. Move the disks from A to B. Simple procedure, 3-step procedure. What the first step says, take the n minus 1 disks and move them from source to auxiliary. What is source? A is source. What is auxiliary? C is auxiliary or temporary. So that's what I have written. Move the top n minus 1 disks and move them from A to C, keeping B as auxiliary. What is the second step? Take the disks and move it from source to destination. Take the disk and move it from source to destination from A to B. Next, what is third step? Take those n minus 1 disks and move them from auxiliary to the destination. It is move them from auxiliary to the destination. What is auxiliary here? Auxiliary here is C and destination is B. So simply what I have to write, move them from C to B, keeping A as the auxiliary. This recursive step itself, I have to write it like this. Every time the auxiliary, source and destination will keep on changing. And this is what is the exact final movement, right? Next, you have to write again recursive solution for this. Again, you have to write the recursive solution for this. In this case, what is source? A is source. What is destination? C is destination. What is auxiliary? B is the auxiliary. What is the procedure that I have to follow? Move the n minus 1 disks from source to auxiliary. So from A to B, you have to move. From A to B you have to move, keeping C as the auxiliary, then -1 disk. Then move the disk from A to C. Those 3 steps, you always parallel look at the 3 steps, then you will follow. Then move the disk from A to C. So I am moving from A to disk. As there is single movement, we will not again call the recursive call here. Next, take those remaining disks, move them from auxiliary to the destination. That is, move them from B to the C. Move them from B to C. So that is a recursive call. Similarly, next we have only one disk. What is the procedure? This recursive solution you have tried. We know that only when there is only one disk, directly we take that disk and move it to destination. So what is the number of disks here? 1 is the number of disks. What is source? A is the source. What is destination? B is the destination. So when you have source and destination, only one disk is there. Directly take the disk and move it to destination. So that's what we have written. Move A to B. That is first step. Next, move A to C. Already it is move, it will be written as it is. When there is only one disk, what we do? Take the disk and move it from source to destination. What is source now? B is source, C is destination. So move it from B to C. Move it from B to C. Now in this case, directly only one movement is there. Move the disk from A to B. Move the disk from A to B. Now similarly, what we did here and the same recursive procedures we have to follow it here. What is that? Take the this was already written. Take the n-1 disk and move them from C to B. So what is source here? C is source, B is the destination. So for this, you write again recursive call. It will be divided into 3 parts. So take the n-1 disk and move them from C to A. Take the n-1 disk, move them from C to A. When you are moving from some source to some destination, it will be auxiliary. Similarly, then move the disk from C to B. Then take the n-1 disk and move them from auxiliary to the destination, that is A to B, keeping C as the auxiliary. So when there is only one disk, we have to move that from C to A. Move that from C to A. When there is only one disk, C to B direct movement is there. When there is only one disk, that I have to move from A to B, so it is direct movement. So similarly, next we will be having A to C. So I think this part I no need to explain. It will be repetitive. It will be repetitive. So whatever we done here, the same steps we are going to follow. At any time, if you want to learn how to write these, you should concentrate on the 3 steps given. You should always concentrate on the 3 steps. What were the 3 steps? Move the source, move the n-1 disk from source to auxiliary, then move the disk from auxiliary to the then move the remaining disk from source to destination. Then take the disk from auxiliary and move them to the destination. So always you are supposed to remember these 3 steps. Take n-1 disks, move them from beginning to auxiliary. Then move the disk from beginning to end. Then move the disk from auxiliary to the end. So that is what is the simple procedure for Tower of Hanoi. So these are the ultimate movements. These are the ultimate movements what we have to follow for moving all the disks from source to destination. So these are the simple movements what I follow. These are the simple movements, and the number of movements for this is 15. The number of movements for this is 15. So we know that for any given value of n, the number of movements is 2 raised to n minus 1. If n is 1, so 2 raised to n is 1. So number of movements is 1. For n is equal to 2, 2 raised to 2 minus 1, it is 4 minus 1, the number of moves is 3. For n equal to 3, 8 minus 1, it is 7. For n equal to 4, 2 raised to 4 minus 1, 2 raised to 4 is 16 minus 1 is 50, right? So general formula is 2 raised to n minus 1 movements, and there are the 15 movements. So within 15 movements, I must be able to move the disk from source to destination. So I'll show the demonstration. The steps we have calculated now, the steps we have found, and we should move those disks from source to auxiliary. What the step says: first take the disk from A and move it to B. Take the disk from A and move it to B. Nowhere the property will be violated. The property will not get violated. Move from A to B. Next is move from A to C. Next is move from B to C. Next is move from A to B. Right? Next is move from C to A. From C to A. Next is from C to B. Next is from C to B. Next is from A to B. A to B. Next is from A to C. Move from A to C. Next movement is from B to C. B to C. Next is from B to A. From B to A. Next is from C to A. C to A. Next B to C. It is B to C. Next A to B. Take disk and move it to B. Next A to C. Move from A to C. Next move from B to C. If you look at the steps, nowhere we have violated the property of tower of an eye. Always the smaller disk was on top of the larger disk. So for as the number of ends will increase, you can make use of this recursive procedure to find the minimum number of moves for the disks to be moved from source to destination, right? So this was what I wanted to convince today, the tower of an eye problem. Hope you have understood. If you have any issues, you can ask.